Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. Hello there. My name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest is Sally Huss. She is an author, illustrator of over 100 books based in Colorado Springs. How you doing this morning, Sally?
Great. Thanks so much.
Excellent. How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend?
Yes. Yes, the sun was out and all was well.
Always nice when the sun is shining. It makes things that much better, doesn't it? Yes.
For sure.
So you have had and lived quite the interesting life. Reading up on your bio, you've done quite a bit. You graduated USC with a fine art degree in the 60s. You won Wimbledon and the US Juniors titles and have been a Wimbledon semifinalist in the women's division, just to name a few things. So yes. How did the whole interest in tennis for you come about?
Well, my father was a great athlete, but he had no opportunities.
Okay.
And when we moved to Bakersfield, California, from Southern California, he got my brother and I into tennis, and we started tennis at that point. I was 10.
Oh, wow. Very young.
Yeah, and started with lessons, and it grew from there.
Okay. Oh, so you were formally trained. You had tennis lessons.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I had lessons in Bakersfield, and then at some point the coach there said, well, I think she needs a better coach. And so my husband, my father and this coach searched around for the best coach they could find, who was George Tolley at the LA Tennis Club. And so they started me there. And every weekend we drove from Bakersfield to Los Angeles for those tennis lessons.
Wow. So they saw that much potential in you at 10 years of age that they figured you need a better coach, and I think we can do something with Sally.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you're also very well known for creating a very unique method of playing and teaching tennis based on relaxation. Can you tell us about that method and how that all came about?
Yes. Long after I played competitive tennis, and I must have been late 20s, early 30s, I worked with a woman in dance therapy.
Okay.
And from that, I designed a way of playing tennis that was based on relaxation, and it was extremely powerful. People loved it, and it was kind of a Zen tennis. It was focused on the feeling of hitting the ball and enjoying the motion and the movement around the court rather than the results. Okay. So the focus was very different, and creative people loved it. So that's what I did. Oh. And I eventually went back on the tour playing this kind of funny tennis and did extremely well when I was quite old. So,
so it's a proven method.
I proved it.
You are living proof.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it. Now, you're also known for having quite the famous roster of tennis students you've shared and taught your unique methods to. Can you tell us who some of those people were that you've taught and shared your wisdom with on the courts?
Yeah, well, I was fortunate enough to teach tennis in Beverly Hills on a friend's court in Beverly Hills. I had been working for Paul Simon running his music publishing company. And when I got into this Zen tennis thing and teaching
the Paul Simon?
Yeah, Paul Simon.
Wow.
And so it was not far from where this court was. So I started teaching my unusual tennis on this court. And I finally decided I'd much rather work outside and then work inside. So I quit the work with Paul Simon.
Yeah.
And went on to just teaching people. And it was on the court of the head of Universal Film Production Jennings Lang was the head of that at Universal Studios, and it was his court. And so he would send me people, and other people would send people, and I taught Barbara Streisand and
wow.
Milos Forman and Helen Reddy and Marilyn Bergman and Larry Hagman, people like that.
Wow, that's incredible.
They always liked it because it was very relaxed and it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And, they understood it. So,
were you nervous or starstruck? I mean, teaching among this caliber of people.
No, I played on the center court at Wimbledon. No, I was starstruck.
True.
So no, they were nice people.
How did your first connection then come about with your first, let's call it famous person that you taught? How did that whole thing get started? Like, how did you get a foot in the door to start teaching some of the rich and famous in Hollywood?
Well, being a top tennis player opened a lot of doors.
Right.
And with the years, my first real job was with a television personality, Ralph Story, in Los Angeles. And that moved into my working for Sam Goldwyn Jr. on film. And, so I was always kind of mixing it up with, a lot of the Hollywood set.
Right.
So playing on various private courts. And then that's how I ended up teaching those people.
So you're always rubbing elbows with that caliber of people.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm sure. So where did your interest in art come from, and what age did you start showing an interest in art?
Well, I always had an interest in all things creative. My mother plied me with tons of coloring books and paint sets.
Uh-huh.
Finger painting sets and craft sets and everything when I was very young.
Right.
And she gave me my first oil painting lessons when I was 10 and living in West Covina. And so she was the one that started me out. And it was always my only interest in school were the art classes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your mom was an artist as well?
No.
Oh, okay.
She was a wonderful mother who saw an interest that I had,
right.
And she followed it and supplied many things for me to use, create with. Yeah.
Okay. Now, in the 80s, you started building a string of art galleries across America. I believe I read it was a total of 26 you had, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about that venture and how all that came to be and got started?
Well, everything starts way back, but when I finally met the man of my dreams, and he happened to be the head of advertising and promotion for Hallmark Cards.
Okay.
So that was an interesting combination with my artistic background and his business background in that particular area. He encouraged me to start doing art shows and craft shows, and I created a line of little inspirational thoughts with a piece of art with them, and then I would do some paintings and do this and that and put it up, and people seemed to like it. They really, really did. So at one point he said, "Let's open a gallery." And I thought, oh my gosh, a gallery. I mean, that's rent, That was rent, and I was scared to death. But anyway, he was in the little art gallery we had on Laguna Beach, Laguna Coast Highway, and we were just preparing it. He was cleaning the floor, and I had done a large painting, and we put it in the window with a light on it while he was doing all this work. And man, a car stopped, screeched on its brakes, and came over, and they bought that painting for $1,800.
Wow.
Said, okay, that works. So, we put in our first gallery. We had a wonderful one on 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica.
Uh-huh.
And there was one in Pasadena. There was one in Del Mar, Laguna, and then La Jolla, which I loved because I love La Jolla from my tennis days.
Right.
We moved to that area, and we built. So we had 5 of these that we owned, and people kept coming into these stores and wanting to have a little happy store like ours in
Right.
their town. And because my husband had created the original Hallmark card shops, he knew how to structure something that was very simple, but people could have the art and put in a shop like ours. And that's what we did.
Wow.
And then people came forward. Different companies would come forward, or their representatives, and they would wander through one of these galleries and contact us and say, gee, I would just love this art for our wallpaper, or
Right.
our baby bibs, or our this or that.
Yeah.
So really, I had done a lot of licensing of my art for various products, lines of purses and lines of greeting cards and lines of endless things that I was doing all the time, as well as filling these galleries with art and the gift art pieces that had inspirational thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it grew to 26 until 9/11 hit, and that sort of shut everything down.
And that was the end of your gallery.
Yeah, they kind of petered out, moved down and down and down until it wasn't worth it.
So now you currently no longer have any galleries open.
No, I just work online, and my website has the availability to look at some of the art, and I do commission work, that kind of thing.
Right. Do you miss that? Do you miss the gallery life and that kind of?
No, because I moved immediately into doing something I had always wanted to do, which was to write and illustrate children's books. I had written many and put them in a box, but never had done anything with them. So now I had the time and the opportunity to do that with the self-publishing in the book, the
book world.
Yeah, the book world. So
I know some of your work has also ended up in the hands of some very well-known, famous people. Yet again, we visit that
oh yeah
realm with you, rubbing elbows with the famous people. Can you tell us who some of the people are that have purchased your work?
Yeah, well, there was a woman that loved my artwork, and happy stuff, and who used to come in the gallery, and she ended up being she was the head of Hillary Clinton's advance team. And so they said, well, we want you to create this piece for Hillary for her, I think it was her 50th birthday. So that's how long ago it was. And so I did that. And of course, they all wanted copies. And so that was done. And then we, of course, sold the copies ourselves in the galleries, because it was such a cute story and image for children. Called the Happy Child, and then I think Mitt Romney came through because they were building a home or renovating a home in La Jolla, and they bought a beautiful piece of the La Valencia Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And Hagman's had, Larry Hagman definitely had a lot of art, and just people here and there.
I love it. That's so incredible. I mean, you're so calm and modest about it, and I'd be dying inside if someone of that caliber wanted to purchase a piece of my work. It's amazing.
Let's see. Well, I can't think at the moment. It's through the years, but tennis connected me with a lot of people too.
Yeah.
Kirk and Ann Douglas, they had many pieces, and then their son, and then I did pieces for them to give to other people, that kind of thing. So
wow, incredible. In addition to all this, the tennis and the art galleries, and you've also authored over 100 books. That's mind-blowing, which of course is incredible. Over 100 books. It's just wow. Finishing one book would be a huge feat, but over 100, and I know they're mostly children's books. But not only do you write them, you also do the illustrating for them as well. So what is it that interested you in children's books, in putting out that kind of book?
I went to a Jack Canfield seminar. Friend insisted that I go meet Jack, and we met at the La Valencia Hotel, and she brought him back to one of my galleries in La Jolla. And And as he walked in, we opened the lights. It was 10 o'clock at night, and turned the lights on for him to look around. And he looked around and he said, "What do people say when they come in here?" I said, "They say it's bright and happy." He said, "That's right. That's right." But anyway, this friend got me to go to one of Jack's seminars.
Okay.
And at the seminar, there was a particular meditation done at the end of it. And it had to do with an angel that went up on top of this mountain, and you're standing down below in this meadow, and this angel up there is opening this box. She's a golden angel, so she obviously knows a lot. And she's opening this box, and in the box, she's going to reveal, and this is to everybody in the room, 250 people, they're going to reveal what your life purpose is. So anyway, when she opened that box for me, the books kept falling out, and they're just books and books and books, almost like a waterfall of books.
Wow.
So I said, okay, now I know what I'm to do. That's what to do.
I love it. What a story. That's incredible.
Yeah. So I just started in, and with the e-publishing, e-book phase of it, started there, and then the paperbacks became popular again. So, I just created them, and I could do them on the computer, which made it much easier.
Right.
And I could, at the beginning, I was working to the point where I was turning out a book a week.
What, a book a week?
Well, the writing of it's no big deal, but it's illustrations, so it takes some time.
Wow. So can I ask you, how long have you been writing books now?
Well, I started long ago, but then probably maybe a good 8-9 years now.
Okay.
So I've been really focused on the books. I worked with the Head Start program in San Diego when we lived there. And then I've worked here with the head of the Denver Head Start program.
Okay.
I can create a book for anyone on any particular subject. And she wanted a particular book for children who were transitioning from preschool to kindergarten, because she'd read every book that existed on that subject, and it didn't have what she wanted. And so when I met with her, she looked at my book. She said, "Can you write this book?" And I said, "Just give me what points you want to make in it."
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And they give those books away every year to children as they pass through that Head Start program.
Amazing. Can you tell us a bit about that program, what it's all about?
What do you mean?
The Head Start program.
Well, those are for kids who are pre-kindergarten kids.
Right.
So it's preschool.
Okay.
Kids. So
transitioning into kindergarten.
Right.
Okay.
So certain factors that are general for them. It's their friends, their fear. It's really dealing with the fears of these children and kind of focusing them on what's to come and how wonderful it's going to be, and the new friends they'll meet, the new teacher. That's
okay.
So, yeah.
Now, how long did it take you to put that book together, from including the illustrations and the writing?
We can have 2 weeks. Yeah.
Wow. You're a book writing machine.
Yeah.
Now, not all of your books are children's books, correct?
No, I have a few books. I did a few tennis books.
Okay.
A wonderful book that Billie Jean King and Dick Enberg and a few other people all highly recommended, which is called Eight Golden Rules for How to Play Your Best Tennis.
Okay.
Kind of a long-winded title, but it's really a terrific book, and it's again using that Zen approach,
right,
and to tennis, and it's about attitude, and so you take that pressure off of somebody, even if they're playing in competitive circumstances. And so that's one. And I did another book, How to Get Your Soulmate, and that came out of the fact that long ago I had created this little formula, and I got this wonderful man in my life. We've been married for about 43 years now. but
Wow.
but it was a particular formula, and I kept passing it on to friends, and they would end up with just what they wanted.
I
So,
love it.
yeah, my friend, to give you an example, my friend Mary McLean, she was tennis. She was played in the national 40s and that sort of thing. We played together. And at one of the tournaments, she was complaining. She said, I don't know, how to get the man of my dreams or something like that. And my husband spoke to me and he said, give her the formula. So I gave Mary the formula. She ended up with Ralph Wilson.
Yeah.
The billionaire who owned the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
Had a wonderful life with Ralph, and he passed on, I think, maybe 5 years ago or something.
Right.
But I used to do some art for them, do some things for them. But anyway.
So your formula for getting your soulmate is tested and true as well.
Yeah. And then the strangest thing is that I had another book that it was called The Happy Book. I did it just at Kinko's to begin with and tested it in one of the galleries to see whether people liked it, if they loved it. So I took it out. It was 30 exercises for greater joy. And so I took it out to the Book Expo, which happened to be in LA. It was never in LA. It's always in New York, but it was in LA. So I took it there and I walked down the aisles to see if I could find anybody who wanted to publish this book. And I ended up in the booth of 10 Speed Press, which is a kind of a hip Berkeley press.
Okay.
The editor there said I was wearing Jam's pants.
Yeah.
Jam, designer out of Hawaii. And she said, oh, you must meet Phil. Phil is the owner of 10 Speed Press. And Phil only wears Jam's clothes. So you must meet Phil this afternoon. So I came back, met Phil. Phil thumbed through the book. He did not even read it. He just thumbed through it.
Yeah.
Felt it. He felt it. And he said, we will publish this book. And you will be happy with the contract. I said, fine. That was it. But eventually the book became out of print, this and that. So they gave me the rights back. I have republished that book now, self-published it, as The Importance of Living Happy. It's a terrific book. It's just terrific. I was just reading it because I was going to be interviewed or something, and somebody said, oh, I want to talk about this book. Yeah. And I totally forgotten what was in the book,
Yeah.
I had reading it, but I had forgot what's in the book.
Yeah.
So anyway, I ordered the book and read it. It's terrific. So then my husband I also did a King Feature syndicated panel for newspapers called, and I called it Happy Musings. And I did that for 12 years. It was a daily. It was a daily. So it was 6 days a week. I wrote this thing and had a piece of art with it. And my husband always wanted me to gather those into a book. Yeah. So I went through those recently and just created a book called 365 Reminders of the Importance of Living Happy. They're wonderful, little inspirational thoughts, just terrific. So those two books go together. They're great.
That's amazing. Amazing. So obviously your true passion is for writing and illustration, but do you still play tennis at all?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
How often do you play?
Maybe once or twice a week.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and not too much because it takes too much energy. And so I do play here I play with about a 4 or 5 group, 4 or 5. Not too high, but a very nice group of people, and it's good to get out and play.
Yeah. Do you miss the competitive aspect of playing pro tennis?
No, because I gave up the competitiveness. I didn't give up tennis, and I didn't give up the eagerness to win the point or win the match. Mm-hmm. But it's a different form of competitive. It's a matter of giving rather than taking.
Right.
And so you give your all when you're out there as much as you can at the moment, and let the results take care of themselves. So that's what I did. And I ended up playing senior tennis for a long time.
Oh, okay.
35s, 40s, 45s, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Finally, I said, it's just too much time. I need to do my work. So
tennis is getting in the way of your work.
Yeah, so that's what I do.
What do you think, Sally, is your unique skill set or superpower that's helped you become so successful?
I think being raised as a young person to be a champion. It doesn't matter that you end up winning anything.
Mm-hmm.
The mindset of being a champion of, if a parent would take a child and say, this child's going to be a champion of whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or anything, just to accomplish and find enough skills in that. And, I think that's, so I have a champion's mentality without my making an effort to do it. It's just,
right.
I complete what I start.
Yeah.
And I keep going. I never quit. So I never quit until whatever the project is done. So it's I do the best I can, and I never quit. I think those two things have helped me.
I love it. Well, I mean, that's all we can do is give it our best and not give up. That those two things are principles that everyone should practice.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you faced early on in your career in tennis and in writing, and how did you overcome them?
Well, in tennis, as a child, playing tennis, you lose more than you win.
Right.
And you have to be happy with not necessarily losing, but it is in a sense of being happy, of being on the court and participating. And that's what I have done, is that I start in knowing that I'm at the bottom of the heap, perhaps,
right.
of anything, and I keep going. And any of my friends that are called for advice on anything, I always say, keep going, because life will eventually show you the path.
Yeah.
Where you're going, where you want to go, or how to get there.
Right.
Or take another path that will show you that. So the thing is to keep in motion and keep in action. So
always keep moving and keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, going back to that, don't give up, just keep pushing through.
Yeah, keep going. Something will open up, something will change.
Yeah. So as a woman, how were you received in the pro sports world back then when you were in tennis and playing in that realm? Did you face any resistance or sexism back then?
No, I played before pro tennis.
Right.
I played in the era before that, before open tennis. But there was nothing that I found that was resistant of, favoring one group over the next. Yeah, at that time, when there was finally money in the game, men were paid more than the women. And then, of course, Billy came forward, and she and her gang, all girls I knew, they were all a little younger than me, but they put it to the big wigs and said, you can't do this. This is, we're equal here.
Yeah.
And even though the men were the ones that really brought in the people for the to pay.
Yeah.
The ones that brought in that. Now it's not so much, I don't think it's so much because men are now watching women's matches because it's much fun. It's the same way if you play a match that you're playing with 3-0 players.
Right.
It can be just as competitively or just as much fun because it doesn't matter what level. And it's the same way of men watching women play tennis. They do it now, before they, didn't really care.
So Billie Jean blazed the trail for that whole women are equal. I think that's incredible.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Out of all that you've done and accomplished in your life to this point, what would you say is your greatest high or your biggest win?
The biggest thing, not sure what the biggest win is, the biggest thing that I've accomplished, but it's always out ahead of me. What I'm going to do is, still out there ahead of me.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm done.
I love that attitude. I love it.
I've learned from maybe perhaps being a part of a loving family with a very supportive husband. This has been a great thing for me through my whole life, because I'm a person that probably needs that support, creative person, and you need that stability.
Yeah.
Sensible, rational person.
Yes, because we creatives aren't very rational people. The stability and the grounding is always a good thing to have, right?
Yes, for sure.
It's a necessity, I think, as artists.
Yeah. So being a part of a loving family with a supportive husband, I would say that's pretty good.
Yeah. What was a turning point in your life, and how did it affect you?
Well, I self-destructed, as many young girls do at a certain age, between 20 and 30. And but fortunately, I was around wise people. And through wise people, I learned about life and how life works, and that it goes on forever. This is not the end all.
Right.
You just keep going, and what you're to do here, and the purpose of being here. And it's not about self-entertainment. It's it's about enjoying life in every way, but to also do some good, do some real good to improve things. And that's what I've tried to do with my children's books, is to help children see things that and plant seeds in them that will help them, give them tools, because a lot of kids don't have any direction.
Yeah.
Young kids, and you can plant really good ideas for young kids at a very early age. A wonderful book called No Smoking, No Drinking, No Drugs for kids 5 to 8.
Yeah.
And so it's about the consequences. So learning about consequences. So that's what I do.
I love it. What is a passion of yours that you rarely share with people, and why not?
I can't think of any. I do what I love. And I love what I do. So there's nothing left out or hidden that I haven't, explored.
Yeah. That's key, though, to be able to say that you absolutely love what you do. Yeah. I mean, not everybody has that opportunity to do something that they love, or not everybody takes advantage of that opportunity. I shouldn't say not everybody can do it, because everybody has the ability to do it. It's just whether they decide to or not.
Yes.
Right? Because so many people get stuck in working that 9 to 5 that they hate, absolutely hate getting up in the morning and going to, but they don't do anything about it. And they're the only ones who can make that change.
Yeah. Act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take action.
Yeah. Nobody's going to come and discover you.
No, exactly. And if you think that's going to happen, you're in for a big disappointment.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Let's go down a not so serious route, and I've got a few just very basic questions for you. What sound or noise do you absolutely love?
Silence.
Silence. Okay. What is one of your favorite words?
Harmony. Because it sounds like what it is.
Mm-hmm. What are you not very good at?
Oh gosh, house cleaning. I'm always on the way to doing something I really love to do, or to get that illustrations of a new book going.
Yeah.
And just getting that house cleaning out of the way, whatever it is, how little it is or whatever it is. So that I would say house cleaning.
Okay. What makes you feel inspired or like your best self?
Probably starting a new book, because it's unknown. Once it's written, I have a stack of books that need to be illustrated. At least I think they need to be illustrated. Anyway, so by starting, once it's written, then pulling out and getting a setup on Illustrator to create the illustrations. It's unknown, and I like that. It's unknown. And so I don't know what it'll look like.
Yeah.
I just do one image at a time, and then it comes together.
Who are the 3 people that have been most influential in your life?
Probably my father, because he set that path of champion, the champion within of my father. Then a woman named Therese Boney, who was a very wise woman, very highly evolved woman, I knew in Los Angeles. And she opened the door to what the spiritual life was about, and helped me overcome my disastrous tendencies, which were extremism in the extreme. And my husband, I'd say my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you like to be remembered?
With a smile.
With a smile. I like that.
As someone who uplifted others.
Who has been the most important person in your life?
I suppose my husband. I got to say my husband. He's been the love of my life and the great balancing factor in it.
Yeah. What makes you smile, Sally?
Practically everything. Anything is an excuse to smile.
I love that answer.
Anything is an excuse to be happy. Just find one. If you're not happy, find one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were guaranteed the correct answer to one question in life, what would you ask?
Well, here's a very practical answer on this.
Okay.
It's to get my books into the hands of more children.
Yeah.
I'm not a marketer, and so that is, something that I would like to know straight on, because if somebody gave me the answer, that I would do it in a second. But I'm not quite good, so that's one thing I pray for.
Okay. Where do you draw your inspiration from when you're writing a book and when you're illustrating? Where does that inspiration come from for you?
Where does the inspiration come? Can come
for
from
your books? Yeah.
Yeah, it can come from anything. Anything will all of a sudden trigger a whole explanation of the correction of that particular situation.
Mm-hmm.
Or a parent might ask, a grandmother asked me, do you have a book on fear, how to get rid of fear in children? My grandson is afraid of everything, she said. So I thought about that, and then I answered that. And I have a darling book. It says The Trick to Being Fearless. And it's about really understanding words and how you can use a sentence. I am courageous. I go in this dark room, I'm courageous, and it changes it. But how this little character, and how he implanted a thought in like an apple. And he said, the apple, he said, I am courageous. And then he ate the apple, so he swallowed the thought.
Right.
It's about swallowing thoughts, and how many thoughts have we swallowed that have interfered with our lives. So swallow a better thought.
Amazing. Do you have a process when you sit down, when you've got your idea for your book? Do you have a process that you go through when you're writing a book, or is it just the moment hits you, the idea hits you, and you just go?
Yeah, I just write it down, and then I hone it a little bit and read the family, and they may throw in a couple of ideas. And then once I have it, then I'm ready to start the illustrations. And as I illustrate them, it's like a little movie. And if it doesn't seem transition from one page to the next, doesn't seem right, I change the wording. So
right. Yeah. So do you write first and then do the illustrations, or is it a bit of both?
Yes.
Yeah.
I write it, but I usually, as I'm writing it, I usually can see it in a
right.
film version.
The vision's there in your head as you're writing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To what extent do you think we shape our own destiny, and how much of that is up to fate, do you think?
Well, I think how we think now affects, and what we think of now affects how we will live in the future. So as we're living now, we're really living in the past. We're living in past thoughts.
Right.
So we're living in past thoughts that have manifest. So the idea is to think good thoughts and structure things the way you want them to be and live that way. And then it will eventually come to be. So I set an aim,
Mm-hmm.
and then life allows it to come to fruition. Therese Boni always had been with a great master in Italy who told the story of how he used to work with scientists they gathered together in the Vatican.
Yeah.
Every now and then for a conference, these scientists in Rome.
Uh-huh.
And what they did is they took a box of soil and they studied the soil, and all the scientists could see that the soil was chaotic. The energies in soil were chaotic until they planted a seed. Once a seed was planted, then all the energies lined up to make that seed come to fruition. So that's what it is in a sense. You plant a seed, and then life brings it into form.
Brings it to fruition.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about your career?
I think the unexpectedness of it. I never know what's next. And I just know it's going to be good. And things are, paths, doors open, this and that. You meet somebody, and one thing leads to another.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. I think it's the unexpectedness of it. It's so fun. Life is
Beautiful.
fun.
What would you say is the best advice you've ever received?
Well, in a dream, I had this great advice that came.
Okay.
It said, if you wait to be happy, you will wait forever. If you're happy now, you'll be happy forever. So
I love that.
Very good advice.
I love it. I'm gonna have to write that one down.
Well, that one is in the 365 reminders of the importance of living happy.
If you wait to be happy, you'll wait forever.
If you're happy now, you will be happy forever.
I love it.
As you can live with that. Happy people. Yeah, happy days are made by happy people. Happy people are made by choice.
Beautiful. How would you define success, Sally? What does that word mean to you?
Well, generally, I guess realization of a goal, achievement of a goal. Success is always, to me, you're always on the way, because you reach one goal, there's another one,
Yeah.
You reach this, if I just get to there, I'm going to be most people, I'm going to be so delighted. I'm going to be so happy when I get there. Then there has to be another one. There's another one. That's how life goes. It goes to da, 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 da. You have to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And it stops. So.
What does the word empowerment mean to you?
I suppose it seems to be a popular word now. Authorization, permission. I give myself that. I give myself the permission to be powerful, to be useful.
Mm-hmm.
To be useful, but empowerment. You give yourself that permission.
Right. Do you think that word is overused now?
I don't know. It seems to be a popular word now.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It is.
Empowered. Women are empowered.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always had the power. It's just a matter of using it.
So what do you think of that whole movement, the whole women's empowerment movement? What are your thoughts on all that? I
don't give it much thought.
No?
No. All the movements that kind of flow through, it's nothing I'm really
interested in.
Yeah, not interested in.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with anyone in the world, alive or dead, who would that be and why?
Oh, well, I think Ted Gazelle, Dr. Seuss. He would know how I could improve what I'm doing. He was the best, the cleverest, and the most intelligent of all the writers of children's books. I just love Dr. Seuss.
Yes, Dr. Seuss is amazing. I have to say, as a kid, loved his stuff. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
And lastly, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like?
Well, being a fast person, I don't know that I would use the whole 30 seconds, but I would say life is wonderful, and you should not forget it.
Beautiful. Well said. It's to the point. And that's it. I love it. Thank you so much, Sally, for being a guest on the show today and sharing all your wisdom and your journey through life and all your insights and valuable information and your career. And it's been so amazing talking to you. I could sit and chat with you for hours. You've got so much amazing wisdom to share. I love it. I've absolutely loved having you here as a guest today, Sally.
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure.
Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your podcast, Empowerography. My guest today has been Sally Huss. She is an author, illustrator of over 100 books. She's based in Colorado Springs. Thank you again, Sally. I hope you have a wonderful day today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.